and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. Yes, it is again very quickly 7:30 p.m. and it's UTC plus 8. That's where my time zone is. And wishing you all the best on this beautiful Sunday. Hope you had a very relaxing weekend because yes, then tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day that the first day of the week, the Monday, where we are going to be waking up very early to start our working week. So let's get prepared, let's get all excited and see where this beautiful Bitcoin and other stocks are going to. First, let's say hello to the hardcore gang once my chat starts to show up. Hi Gerson, hi Monkol, hi Alvin, hi Lex, hi Tina, hi Harris, hi, thank you. Yes, it is a Father's Day today, and yes, for me, the very first time. The real Dang Oracle is already, what was it? Now, yeah, 1 month and a half. He is 1 month and a half old. Hi, Darren. So yeah, before we go into our technical analysis, let's take a good look at our COVID situation and see for some numbers. And meanwhile, some people are slowly trickling in. Hi Stone, yes, happy Father's Day. Up. United States are over 2.2 million, Brazil is over 1 million, Russia is nearing the 600,000 now, and India is nearing the 500,000 right now. So, whoopsie, not that great. So let's take a look on the chart. How does it look like? We are now at total confirmed cases of 8.8 million. Wow, 8.8 million. There is some sort of like a slowdown on the slope. Let's put it like that, but still doesn't look very good. US still not good. Brazil still not good. Russia still not good. India definitely not good. Peru definitely not good, and Spain is doing better. Yes, so from like we keep saying, it seems like the critical areas are becoming to be moving towards South America and India in Asia. The European countries are doing a lot better. Hi Michael, hope you're doing well as well on this Sunday. So hi Darway. So where do we start first? Where should we start first? Well, let's start with the good old Bitcoin and see where we left off yesterday. Well, yesterday was pretty beautiful, right? So we said yesterday, even though we had this crazy situation, crazy wick to the worst, the downside, I was saying like, nah, it's weekend, don't take too much out of it. And also, if we are looking at our RSI, we could see that it was bouncing off the breakout zone of this broadening wedge, to descending broadening wedge. And as you can see right now, it went nicely up and broke out of that wedge basically. And we can clearly see that price is where we started at, in between these two green boxes. That's basically where price is at once again. So like I said, we will always have these crazy scam wicks during the weekend. It's low volume, and then crazy things can happen, like I said. So don't put too much importance onto it. Of course, for people who are able to be to trade it and to be how would you be able to possibly trade it is, of course, just put in some very low amounts and then hope that you hit. So basically, that's the only way I see how you could be able to trade it. But yeah, like I've explained yesterday, I don't really see it as a breakout of the formation just yet. Things only will get clearer once we break one of these two zones that we have been indicating since, well, the past week, I guess, right? Since we've been going inside this beautiful, either this is accumulation or this is basically distribution, right? One of those two things is happening right now. So like I said, for the bulls, they are looking at this as some sort of a bullish pennant. Let's put it, not bullish pennant, bull flag type of rising channel, positive rising channel. And for the bears, they are looking at this more as like a distribution pattern, where we are going to be breaking down of this support that we have been touching 3 times now already, right? So we keep making higher lows, and for the bulls, they are saying, well, we keep making higher lows, right? So lower highs for the bears and higher lows for the bulls. So that's basically the situation where we're at, and we have beautifully now concluded, well, after a whole week, we have enough data to say that, yeah, those are the two zones that we are looking at. So if you're not in a position like me right now, that's basically what I'm waiting for, like the confirmation of one of the two areas. And I'm not gonna say, well, you can never say for certainty, but the way that the HVP is flashing, I think we will have a resolution next week, basically, right? And the first domino stone is going to be released most likely tomorrow already when the market is opening. But we have the a very, very, very big close, of course, with the expiration of the end of the monthly futures on the 26th of June. So yeah, and it's a lot on the CME. It's I think it was like over 1 billion that is going to be expiring in terms of like options. So yeah, it's record numbers. And to be clear, like I said, that's the reason why I'm still quite bullish as well, because most of the professional traders, so I guess you can include me into that. If we are looking at the COT chart, as we can see here, the white line, or that's the professional traders position, white line has been steadily going up, as you can see. So professional traders keep basically longing. We can see that institutions have already sold it and got out already, as we can see, and the amount of people on the retail has been slowly going down, right? So that's the reason why price has been pretty flat, right? So we have institutions who basically sold off. We have professional traders who have been accumulating, but because after the halving, the amount of like hype with the retail has been going down, right? So that's the reason why price is very stable to the sideways. Basically, for the past couple of weeks, it has been pretty much sideways. So professional traders are buying. Retail is basically selling off a little bit. So for me, that is quite bullish. Once again, whenever I see retail selling off and professional traders, mainly because of the professional traders, but professional traders can be very wrong as well, right? So don't put emphasis on it that professional traders are always right. They can be wrong as well, many times as well. So I'm just saying I'm still leaning towards the bull side, a higher probability, just for those reasons, right? But that's it's just one of the reasons. It's not all the reasons, right? So we can see that the price has been moving very, very sideways, but yeah, like I said, nothing has been resolved just yet, and these are actually the two key areas that we have defined already since yesterday. So like I said yesterday, this week, don't take it happened in like 5 minutes. Don't put too much emphasis, and afterwards, as you can see, we went back to like the range that I expected, 9.4, and went back down a little bit now to 9.3. So yeah, within the range that we have been expecting, right? So, but as you can see, we are nearing very, very close by, and like I said, we are nearing this end of the channel, basically, right? So if you can see, if we are taking the daily candle, tomorrow, max Tuesday, Wednesday, it has to already have been resolved. So by Wednesday, we should have a resolution of this whole formation or this channel. At least, do we get rejected towards the downside and break this 8.9k? Then of course, we've talked about it already, most likely a bounce around this area first, then all the way down to like the 8k area, but most likely, like I said, all the way down towards the 7.5k area on this box here eventually, not immediately, of course. Do we break up above the 9.6k? I do expect that we would go to this area here around the 9.9, between 9.9 to 10k once again. somewhere around there, eventually break up towards, most likely towards like the 10.5k ish area, this green box here, but eventually I do believe that we will be getting towards the 11.5k, and I don't have a box there just yet, so I'll just put the box there. So we have a little bit of resistance also at 11k, so I'll put a small box there. But eventually I do believe that 11.5k is the place to be. That is right here. Okay. And 11.5k is really the fuckery zone. We have been rejected the past 2 years around that 11 point. It has been distribution on that area in the past 2 years. So if we manage to break and close above 11.5k, that would make Bitcoin super bullish, and then we can talk about crazy numbers like 14k, like 16k, and eventually most likely 20k. But of course we're not there yet, so yeah. Definitely not there yet. Do I think that it will happen immediately? I really doubt it, but you know, crazier things have happened before. For now, I just wanted to take it from green box to green box, which is the following. If we do break 9.6, then I do believe that we will end up around, you know, 9.9, close to 10k ish area, this green box here. Do we break that box, then most likely 10.5k is the next stop. Further than that, if we break 10.5k, of course 11.5k, that's basically the bullish area. Do I really think that we'll immediately break up towards the 11.5k? Maybe, but still, you know, very highly debatable. Towards the downside, it's actually a little bit easier. So if we break the 8.9k, I do believe that we will quickly go down towards like the 8k, make a bounce there, and then 7.7 ish, maybe a small bounce there, and then 7.5k would be most likely the end target. Not really the end target, but you know, where we can think that it could possibly be a local bottom. Let's put it like that. Hi Reminiscence, hope you're doing well as well. So for now, that's basically the trigger and the areas that we are looking at, right? Hi Alto, don't worry, we just started, so you're not that late. Hi Jeremy, good morning from Austin. Oh, Austin is quite far. And yeah, so basically those are the two areas. I mean, those are the two key moments that will change the path of Bitcoin for the next couple of weeks, basically, right? So let's take a look back on the weekly chart. This is how the weekly chart looks right now. As we can see, just purely looking at the weekly chart, it doesn't look bad at all. We bounced off on the simple moving average, still outside of this zone above the green support zone here. So everything on the weekly, it still looks pretty good. As we can see here, the stocks are really high right now. Could, you know, it's never that great that the stocks start curling down, right? So that's what we don't want to see, that the stocks are curling down. But it's not going to happen as long as, of course, the RSI is above the EMA. And as you can see right now, even though it's still a little bit more towards the upside than the downside, right? Angled, the slope is a little bit to the upside than the downside. So tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, the 3-day is looking like this right now, still above the EMA 21. So still positive, but the problem is here the stocks are, you know, are starting to curl towards the downside. So obviously the momentum is waning there, and of course the RSI is also below the EMA. And on the 2-day chart, we can clearly see the same thing that is happening on the stocks, curling down. And we can see here the 2-day candle closed above the EMA 21, and we are still above the EMA 21, of course. But as we can see right now, there is some danger, of course. There's some danger that we will be, and I do think that we'll most likely be retesting the EMA 21 level, or the 9,280, 9,200 level. I think tomorrow, to be honest, I still think that we will have or before tomorrow, I still think we will have a pullback with the way that how the traditional markets ended the day. Just a quick look once again back into the traditional markets. If we are looking at the weekly on the S&P, no issues there on the weekly. So on the macro, on the midterm level, I don't think there's any issue right now. but that could obviously change, right? But on the daily chart, this is not a good close. Closed below the EMA 21, and it's just not a good candle, is it? Right? So this looks like it wants to be pulling back a little bit more towards the downside here, And I've told you guys yesterday as well, we have this golden cross here between the EMA 55 and the EMA 200, which is the golden cross. Normally it's between the 50 and the 200, but I always compare the 55 with the 200. Tomatoes. So pretty much the same thing. So usually what happens is when we have a golden cross, we do retest the cross. So maybe go back down towards the EMA 55 or in worst case the EMA 200 to retest this cross here. So I do believe that it will bounce down towards, maybe like the lower 3000 on the Monday, touch it here, and then make a bounce from there. So if that happens with the traditional markets, well, most likely it will be happening with Bitcoin as well, right? Because if we are looking at the S&P charts, we can clearly see we have some sort of like a doji candle here on the weekly chart, and if we are comparing that with the CME chart on the weekly, let's take a look on the CME chart here. We also have that doji candle that we've been talking about, and yeah, like I said, these numbers are exactly the numbers that we are looking at the spot price chart as well. 9,627 on the top side and 8,930 on the bottom side. And if we are taking the premium out of the CME, which is around like $50 give or take, then what numbers do we have? You've guessed it already, 9,600 and 8,900. So I mean, CME chart is basically telling us exactly the same what we have been concluding the past, I don't know, 5-6 days, week or something like that. That's the range basically that we need to be breaking conclusively for us to be, for the market to basically show us the direction where we want to be going. But like I said, with that daily close on the S&P, that doesn't give me full confidence. The same actually on the Nasdaq chart, as you can see right here, broke down here, but it's more bullish than the S&P chart. Broke down here as well, bearish engulfing candle as well. Didn't break any structure or anything like that, but I do believe like most likely be retesting this EMA 21 level here, most likely on the Monday or the start of the week. So I think, if we start breaking like structures like that, if we, for example, if the S&P is going to be breaking below this I would say this cluster here at 2,964 right now, 2,964. If we close and we break that one, then that will give direction towards our Bitcoin as well, and we are definitely going towards eventually towards 7.5k, because what will happen is, of course, we break this structure and we'll go down all the way down here, and if we break that structure, of course we'll go down even lower towards, I would say, around the 2,700 area most likely. So, but like I said, let the market show you the direction rather you than trying to guess it, right? But of course, I still believe that we will have a bounce on that area. So that means for me, even though that we get that pullback, like I said, if we get that pullback back towards this bottom of the range here, wait, let me put the brush one again. If we get down here towards the 9k ish area level, I do believe that we will still have a bounce from there, like what will happen on the traditional markets, right? Even if we go back to the EMA 200, most likely we will have a small bounce from there. But if it breaks down from there, then Bitcoin is going to be, of course, make a small bounce and then break down from here as well. But since that we have such a nice range that we have already been preparing ourselves for it, the risk management is very easy, right? So if you are entering from 9,000, for example, and the price goes below 8,900, you take the hit like the man and you switch it over into a short. So your risk is very limited. That's the reason why trading on that kind of range doesn't really worry me as a trader. I mean, because we have already set up all the plans or all the price points already, right? So that's way more important than trying to guess that we are going to be breaking for sure breaking up or anything like that. Of course, we can see the momentum indicators that are showing us like, okay, the probabilities are higher that we're gonna go up. And like I said, I still am more in favor of the bulls right now than the bears. Like I said, technically we are still in an uptrend because higher lows, right? Higher lows. This is a bullish formation, right? This is a bullish formation. On the weekly, only on the weekly we don't have a major uptrend, but up to the 3-day, it's an uptrend, right? So for that reason, just on pure technical aspect, the probability is just higher that we are going to be breaking up towards the upside rather than the downside. But we have seen so many patterns breaking down or breaking up whenever we think that it's going to be breaking up. So that's not really what trading is about. The trading is about, okay, well, if it does break up, that we make money, and if it does break down, that we also make money. That's what trading is about. So there's no point for me to be saying like, well, I do favor that we will most likely be going towards like the 10.5k. I do believe that that has the higher probability, but if that doesn't happen, then I understand that a lot of people will be disgusted and saying like, hey, but you said that we were going to break the 10k and we went to 7.5k instead. I don't care because I'll be making money if we are going to go to 7.5k or if we are going towards 10.5k anyways. So yeah, so that's more the mindset that you have to have if you are trading. If you are just purely an investor, then just wait it out and hold through it, because eventually it should be going up, hopefully. And if not, then then it was a bad investment. That's what investing is all about, right? You take your risk and the money that you are able to be putting aside, and you basically did your research and you think that, okay, that's the good investment. It's the same as when you're buying, let's say, real estate or something like that. You do all your research. Is the area good? Is the building good? Is the quality of the project good? Blah blah blah. Is the environment good? And you do all that research and then you invest into that real estate. But yeah, sometimes you get lucky and a supermarket gets built nearby and then the property price goes up, or suddenly, what can I say, some garbage plant starts is being built nearby and there's a horrible smell, and then that property value goes down, right? Like, it's just what it is. That's life. So those are the kind of the things that you have to be able to differentiate whenever you're in this cryptocurrency for. Are you a trader? Are you an investor? Are you whatever you are? You have to decide that for yourself first before anything else, to be honest. For me, obviously, I will always my viewpoint, my point of view will always be in the perspective of a trader, because that's what I am. So for a lot of people, it will be like, what the fuck, it doesn't make sense. And that's perfectly okay that it doesn't make sense for you, because most likely you are not a trader. So then my perspective will be sometimes sounding very strange. Like I said, a lot of people will be asking, so you said that we're gonna go to 11.5k, but it didn't happen. Then they'll be hating on me. But that's the wrong perspective. Then you don't understand what trading is about. And we can have a very long discussion about that. But then, if your mindset is not open towards understanding that kind of theory or that kind of perception, then the trading is definitely not for you. Let's put it like that. If you cannot understand or comprehend that type of understanding of probabilities and statistics and variance, then trading is most likely not for you, which is not necessarily a bad thing as well, right? But for the people who are still watching me, most likely, they are interested in trading. So that's that. But I just wanted to clear out on this Sunday, because there's nothing much else than than ranting basically on a Sunday because very little is happening. But I wanted to, you know, I want to show you guys how prepared you have to be, definitely when you have the time to be preparing yourself, right? During the weekend, and that's what I really do during the weekend as well. Other than that, okay, I've rebuilt my my week of theory chart. So for the week of theory fans, for it, this is still it could be a distribution schematic 1, as we can see right here, or it could be a distribution schematic 2, as you can see here. The only difference is just this one, it can go back up towards the resistance line and then get rejected from there, or it can go towards the UTAT higher than the previous UT and then get rejected from there, which is something that I still expect to happen. Yes, Constant, Bitcoin is going to be pumping soon. I hope so. I really hope so. And then basically here is the chart that I've recreated because yeah, every time Windows updates, some of my charts gets removed and I have to redo it. But if you put the week of chart, I'll put this one next to it, and then you'll see it clearly. Can I do it? 1 second. Yes, I'll do it like this, and then I'll put the other one here. Yeah, there. So now you can see it beautifully next to each other. Oh shit, that's not the right move. Yes, this is the right move. Beautiful, beautiful, isn't it? So we have the Psi here, we have the BC, we have the resistance zone here, which is those two red lines, the resistance lines, and we have the support lines here. We have the show of weakness in the market and the phase B here. Beautiful. We got our UT here, as you can see here. So everything is following the weakest distribution chart very, very well. As you can see, we got a pullback here, which is this pullback that we're talking about here. And now we are going mainly sideways, and then basically this week is going to be showing our resolution, right? So I still think either we are going to be going towards, you know, like 10.5k, 10.4k, 10.5k, or the LSPC Psi, or we can go all the way to 11.5k, which is where I expect our UTAT is, and then we get a dump from there. That's still what I believe is going to be happening in the long term, because a pullback is going to happen eventually. But do we get the pullback? The question is, do we get the pullback at 11.5k or at like you know, 10k or something like that? Who knows, right? Well, one of those situations. We just have to take it, like I said, day by day. But this is sort of the macro perspective that I just have in my mind right now, because it really looks like distribution pattern that is being formed right now. Could it be wrong? Of course it could be wrong, because week of is it has so many patterns as well. So but this does look really much like a standard week of distribution pattern. So who knows? Let's see what happens in the next. I'll just keep opening this this chart and keep you know, updating these charts along the way. That's basically what we should be doing anyways, right? To see if something is correct or not. So anyways, still waiting for the defined range to be broken, to be breaking, right? So what does give us more indication? It will not be a final conclusion, of course, but it will give us more information if things are going to go to the downside or the upside. And that is basically, we can look at our 2-day and 2-day chart, and if we are looking here, the 10 simple moving average, if we close the 2-day chart below above 9,555, but you know, that doesn't give us that much sense of direction, because 9.6k is so near, so it's a very tight range. And on the lower side, we have the 9,280 here. If we close the 2-day candle below the EMA 21, that would be pretty bearish as well. But the 2-day candle is only going to be closing in a day and a half from now, so you know, it's not that helpful. Let's put it like, most likely we'll already have a resolution by then. Our daily candle is still closing below the EMA 21, but it's still above the EMA 55. So once again, it could give us a better indication if we tomorrow, if we close above the EMA 21, that would be, you know, most likely an indication that we will at least try to go towards 9.6. So if we close tomorrow above 9,446.5, I do believe that we'll at least give it a try toward 9.6. Doesn't mean that it will break the 9.6, but at least give it a try. Let's put it like that. And then to the downside, the EMA 55 here at 9,128. If we close below 9,128, I think that we will be retesting, like, you know, the lower 9,000, 8,900 area. Doesn't mean that it will be breaking the 8,900 once again, but it will most likely indicate that we are going to be going towards the downside of the range. So tomorrow, that's basically what I'll be looking at. Do we close above the EMA 21? Most likely we'll be retesting 9.6. If we close below the EMA 55, then most likely we'll be retesting the lower 9,000 area, 8.950-ish area, something like that. That's what I'll be looking at for the daily close tomorrow. And then we have the 2-day close the day after, but I kind of have a feeling that tomorrow we'll be, you know, knowing a lot of information already, right? So maybe it will be too late already, then the big move is already been happening. But other than that, please, you know, I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing. I will not really commit to any direction until one of those two ranges are going to be breaking. So the 9.6 or the 8.9, that will be the majority of my margin position, whatever one of those two things happen. The only little scalp, like I said, that you can be doing is what I explained to you before. If we close tomorrow below above the EMA 21, you can scalp that $100 towards the upside. If we close below the 9,128 or the EMA 55, you can scalp this range here, $100 towards the downside. So if you're interested in scalping for that $100, sure, that is okay. That I feel quite comfortable with that move as well. But does that mean that it will break the 8.9 or the 9.6K area? No matter, I don't think it. You know, it could break it, obviously, but it doesn't guarantee it will break the main areas. And only when those two main areas are breaking, then I will be, you know, really putting on some position, right? But other than that, if I am awake, if things happen during the opening of the CME at 6 a.m. tomorrow, then of course I'll be scalping that $100. I don't mind. If I'm sitting behind the computer, I can, you know, the risk management is quite easy to do on that spot as well. So for scalpers, if you want to scalp that $100, for me it makes sense. So just looking at the daily candle close tomorrow could potentially give you $100 spread, no matter what happens, right? If we are closing in between in the middle, of course you can't do anything. You just have to wait it out. So if we are once again closing in the middle, nothing you can do that there. But like I said, most likely we will have quite some sort of you know, more information by tomorrow. Okay, other than that, I know that there's some fans of Fibonacci and I guess Elliott waves, because those are the rules that I'm going to be showing. And I'll show you guys that actually by using Fibonacci, you can actually get to the pretty much, because when you are learning technical analysis, you'll be learning so many theories, right? And then after a while, you'll realize that a lot of the theories basically give you the same kind of results, right? So that's the cool thing about technical analysis, right? You can use multiple theories, and when multiple theories are confirming your analysis or your plan, that's actually quite a good thing as well. So I'm going to show you how I get my Fibonacci levels that are pretty much showing me the same levels or the areas that I'm expecting, right? So if we are doing the Fibonacci extension from this bottom here all the way to the local top here, and then back down here, then sorry, then we can see usually what happens if we are looking at Elliott wave theory. Usually what happens is the second wave is usually a 1-to-1 Fib ratio, right? So if we are looking at the 1-to-1 Fib extension, we can clearly see that the 1-to-1 extension ratio is here, is 10,500. So if we do go all the way, if we do like I said, if we do break the high range, like I said, if we do break like this 9.9K area and close above it, we should be able to get around to 10.5K, like I said. And then if we if we get a 1-to-1 Fib extension, the Elliott wave theory says that the next one goes to 1.618 Fibonacci. So then the next extension is here, 1.618, and as you can see, it's 11,681. And what do you know? That's the 11.5K area that I've been talking about, and 11.168 would also, as you know, we have a gap at like on the CME chart at like 11.8, between 11.8 and I think you have to go on the daily. I'll show it to you on the daily, between 11.8K that we never filled, right? Where is it? Boom, 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 boom. Here, this gap here. Between 11.8 and 11.7, that's basically the CME gap that never got filled. Boom, there. So it's there. So yeah, then that amount makes sense as well, right? Because of course you have to deduct the CME premium of like maybe like $50. So 11.7 minus $50 would be 11.681, around that area as well, right? So Fibonacci extension and Elliott wave is basically telling us, well, telling me pretty much the ranges or the areas that we are expecting, right? So once again, that confirms my bullish trend, right? That's the bullish trend because that's the Fibonacci extension from the lower side to the top side back to the lower side. So that's if you are expecting a bullish trend to the a bullish ABC to the top side, right? That's why you do an extension from the bottom to the top and back to the bottom. But if we do the bearish one, of course, we also have a bearish one extension. So then we do from the top, the previous top, to the bottom and then back to the top. So if this is a bearish trend, second, and then we can do exactly the same thing as well. If we do a 1-to-1 Fib extension, then we have here 8,931 to the downside, and then if we do the 1.618 Fib level, we get this level right here at around 8,100, and that would basically match up what we are saying in our targets as well, right? So we were saying like, yeah, if this one breaks down towards the 8.9K, maybe a small bounce and eventually break down towards the 8.1K or this green box to the downside as well. So Fibonacci extension is giving us pretty much the same levels or targets that we have been looking out and looking for. That's the reason why although I use Fibonacci quite a lot, but if you are just using the support and resistance zone or the green boxes like I like to use, we are pretty much getting the same targets or the same numbers. So after a while, you kind of like use the Fibonacci just to confirm, basically. You know, you confirm things. Similar like why I have my expected move charts running when I'm trying to define ranges. But after a while, when you're doing using the things that you're used to, it matches up with the different other theories that you will be learning, and that's a good thing. It's a very positive thing when you see that there's a lot of confluence between all the theories that you're doing or the technical analysis that you're doing. It means that you're on the right way, you're on the right path. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be learning other theories or other things, right? I mean, of course you should be learning as as much as possible. But what you will see after when you've learning a lot of technical analysis, you will see that a lot of the other indicators or a lot of the other theories will give you this very similar results, and that's a very positive thing. It means, like I said, it means that you're on the right path of becoming a good or a better technical analyst. But theory is theory. That's one part that is obviously important. But theory is something that everybody can learn, right? Everybody can learn technical analysis. Everybody can be smart and be good at technical analysis. The problem is, most of the times, the problem is actually the psychological level, the mental strength of the trader. What I mean with that is, like, although it's not the right move to be doing, you still do it. Although you shouldn't be adding onto your position, you still do it. Although you should not be trading during the weekend, but you do it. That kind of stuff is where a lot of traders are failing, rather than the theory part. So a lot of traders, they do their hard work, they learn all these theories, they learn all these basically they're really good traders, but they don't have the mental capacity to become profitable traders. And that's where a lot of traders are struggling as well. And that's something that you can only be improving by adding more psychological tools towards your arsenal. So what I'm saying is, everybody can learn a course of technical analysis after, like, let's say 6 months. You should be able to have a very good basic grasp of technical analysis. But after 6 months, that doesn't make you a competent trader, at least psychologically. So that one takes a lot more time, and that's the reason why most of the traders still fail even though they are really good at what they're doing as an analyst. But that doesn't make them a good trader. So that's basically the next level, or the next mental block that you need to be breaking. And there's a lot of things that you can do to be helping yourself on that area as well. For example, like I said, during the weekend, you should just don't trade during the weekend, and just take those 2 days that you are not free, but by adding more tools to your arsenal, by doing more analysis, back testing, by doing more theories, comparisons, and so on and so on. It's very important as well. And also, it's mentally very stressful, right? Being in a position, not knowing this and that, it's a psychological thing as well. So it's not bad to have like a couple of days where you just clear your mind and still are occupied with your craft and trying to improve your craft, but not having the pressure of being in a position. Hi Aldrich, thank you. Happy Father's Day to you as well, if you are a father. So now that the 12-hour candle close has closed, we can look back into ranges, but you already know most likely the amount of the ranges haven't been changing that much. I would say, yeah, pretty much the same thing. 9.5 to the upside, and then 9.2 to the downside, or something like that. Let's take a look on the expected move charts. So 9,507 is the first standard deviation to the top side, and 9,189 is the first standard deviation to the downside. What do you know? So as you can see here, it gives us very little amount of data, although there's one thing, it is a little bit angled towards the downside, so the probability is that we go down towards the 9.2k, like I said, is higher than towards the upside. Let's take a look at the Stokes. Like I've explained already, the Stokes, this looks really bad. This looks really bad. Tina, where does gut feeling fit in? If I would be trading with my gut, I would have been broke a really long time ago. So I only trade on technical analysis. If I would be using gut feeling, then I'm just gambling, or I'm just I would be broke. Let's put it like that. So this is really bad. Like I said, if this confirms on the next 12 hours, and we are confirming a rejection on this tops that we've been making here, see this resistance trend line that we've been forming, that would be very bad. So let's see what happens in the next 12 hours. But if this confirms to the downside, not good. Not good. The HVP has been flashing, like I said, for the past couple of days, I guess, on the 12 hours as well as on the daily, as well as on the 2-day. So like I said, next week is really going to happen, and most likely we'll have a warning shot already on the first day tomorrow, most likely. RSI is still below the EMA, but very, very nearby, as you can see, 9,358. So I can't really say much on the RSI. Let's see on the daily. Like I said, daily once again below this support trend line that I've been following, very, very bad. Shows more higher, like momentum is gone. So yeah, the next couple of days it has to be going up, it has to be changing, or else not good. HPP has been flashing for the last couple of days on the daily as well, so not good. Let's take a look on the RSI, but most likely, yeah, RSI is still below, and there's no divergence or anything like that, so nothing we can do about it. I mean, nothing we can take a look on it or gives us more information, put it like that. 4 hour stocks are curling up, so in the short term it's curling up. Do we break this in the next 4 hours? Do we break here, yes or no, or do we get rejected back down from this resistance trend line? That's basically what I'm looking at. That could give us more details. So in the next 4 hours, right? Right now RSI is above the EMA on the 4 hour chart, so yeah, but like I said, very little information that we can see right now on the RSI, sadly enough. So yeah, can't tell you that much on the RSI. The only thing that I'm going at is I do expect us to be making a bounce on the traditional markets, and that's the only thing that's actually keeping me bullish on Bitcoin for now. But if traditional markets are going to be breaking down, and like I said, if they pull back all the way, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, right? But yeah, I need to see some confirmation. That's basically it. I need to see some confirmation, and we'll have that confirmation in the next 1 or 2 days. So yeah, that's yeah, just have to wait it out a little bit. But yeah, I still believe that we will make a little push towards the upside first before we are going down, at least. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and that's what most professional traders are thinking. Hearst oscillator is still in the bearish control zone right now, as you can see, in the red zone, still waiting if it curls back up, yes or no. Can I see something on our oscillator? Let's see if our oscillator is saying something. I don't have my oscillator. That's new. Okay. Oh yeah, this was the oscillator. What am I saying? I mean on the Hearst cycle itself. Let's see here. We bounced off on the cycle, on the lower short cycle bottom right here, and we got rejected from the median right here. So yeah, very, very tough to say, but it looks angled to the downside. The slope is a little bit to the downside, so a little bit of continuation towards the downside is very possible. So looks like yep. Looks like what the traditional markets are saying. I still believe that we will have a small pullback once again towards the downside on Monday before we get some resolution on this pattern. But if we get a big pullback towards the downside, yeah, that's not good, of course, right? So yeah, yep, let it. Very low volatility. It has been pretty boring for the past 10 days or something like that. So yeah, not much money making for me as well. So like I said, that's what the life of a day trader is. You just have to wait and pick your moments and pick your spots. And sometimes there's like 4 or 5 days, sometimes a week that I'm not gonna be making any money. It's just how it is. Boom boom. But yeah, what's my background? I studied economics, macroeconomics at the university in Belgium. I did also a course in chance and probability at MIT in Boston. That's my background. so macroeconomics. Boom, boom. But to be honest, I never used my my degree or my studies. I've always been an entrepreneur, so I started off creating my own shop. I had a small computer shop, well, video game shop, computer shop, then turned that into a business in terms of like online business, selling packaging mainly. Import and export. I did like, DVD players, MP3 players, that kind of stuff. Tech stuff was quite big. Yes, hi Constant. But yeah, that's my background. Mainly entrepreneurship. But yeah, I also studied. Let's put it like that. I worked for a bank also for a very short time as well. But yeah, I still think that we're gonna be ranging in this area for maybe a couple of more days. Well, maybe not that long. Maybe tomorrow we're gonna see some resolution. Like I said, still waiting for this RSI on the daily as well. Like I said, it's a falling channel, so just higher probability that we're gonna break to the upside. So that's the reason why I still think that we're gonna swipe towards the at least this green box here, like 9.9, 10K. That would match with at least our LPSI as well, right? And the second distribution chart here, see, just near the resistance lines. So near this resistance line of the 10K here. So going towards 9.9, 10K would make, I mean, that for me is like kind of like the minimum. Doesn't mean that it will break, right? So I'm not saying it's going to be breaking, but I still think because we are in this falling RSI channel here and we break up, I do believe that we at least go to this green box here. But since that we have been testing this green box a couple of times, I think we have enough strength to go to this secondary green box at like 10.5K, and then that kind of triggers also the next momentum shift. People will be bullish and then push it towards the 11.5K, or what I've done just now with the Elliott waves and the Fibonacci extensions, right? So yeah, still think higher probability the top side, but it has to be happening really fast, because this cannot take too much longer anymore. We will have too much momentum loss and this and that. So and like I said, once we break below 8.9K, midterm, definitely not good. I'll be looking at a first bounce, like I said, 8K-ish level, and then eventually most likely 7.5K after. And then maybe even lower, who knows. And then actually, to be honest, if we break so if we are talking really macro, right? Because some people will be asking me like, when do you really turn bearish, right? When would I really turn bearish? Well, the problem is we would have been making lower highs for the past 2 years and a half. So this would be a lower high, this would be a lower high, this would be a lower high, this would be a lower high if we get rejected for 2.5 years. Then it becomes sort of like a dead heartbeat chart, very similar to most altcoins that we are seeing, right? Where we just see like very small pumps and then keeps on going down lower, and then we, it would be very bad. So where would I think it would be really bad? If we break, let's say if we break here, this area here, the 6 point, let's take the wick here, like the 6.8K area, 6.9, 6.8K area. If we break that level, then that would be really bad. That would be really bad. So if we break this green box here and then go down here and then break all the way down, yeah, I would be, to be honest, I would be very starting to become pretty bearish on Bitcoin on the long run, on the long term. And then I'll be expecting us to be going back to like the 3k levels in the very, very long run, right? So yeah, I really hope it doesn't happen. I still am more positive than negative because of all the money printing. So the FED is doing their job. They're doing everything in their power to be saving the economy right now. Good luck to them. And like I said, I mean, if things go really, really bad with the stock market before November, I still think they're going to do everything they can before the elections to be pushing it back up once again. So yeah. What's GBTC? Yeah, that's Grayscale Trust. So Grayscale, that's basically the where the institutions buy their Bitcoin. There's a chart also. It's very similar to like a CME chart. It's called GBTC. Before I was taking a look at it before as well, because it shows me like, you know, what the institutions kind of were doing, buying a lot or not Bitcoin. But nowadays it's not that important anymore. It seems CME chart is way more in terms of price action, way more clear and the right path. It kind of makes sense as well because that's where all the professional traders are. So, you know, kind of makes sense as well. And as we can see on the COT charts, institutions have been getting out of Bitcoin now after that run. If Bitcoin turns into a dead heartbeat, I will be moving into Forex. That's basically what I'm gonna do. So this if this channel is still alive after the dead heartbeat, I'll switch this over into a Forex channel because then it will be just Forex that I'll be trading. So and that's a good thing about technical analysis, right? Like once you kind of learn technical analysis, you can pretty much trade everything that you want. You know, you can trade commodities, you can trade Forex, you can trade everything. So that's a pretty cool thing about learning. So there's nothing bad, and definitely during the lockdown, right? When people are actually, you know, I see a lot of people just doing nothing the whole day, like literally nothing. That's kind of sad, right? You should be doing at least something to improve yourself. And yeah, for me, this is what I like to be doing, improving my trading game, getting better at it on a daily basis, and seeing other stuff. That's why I'm always open to other people's opinion as well, and to other people's theories. It's quite fascinating how many people have different opinions, how many people have different viewpoints, and this and that. So it's quite cool. But that's what trading makes. That's what makes trading exciting, right? So I'm just showing you guys how I am perceiving trading, how I am doing, or how I am setting up my master plans and my trading. But that doesn't mean that I'm right? That doesn't mean that that I am doing it the right way. I'm able to be making money, but that doesn't mean that other methods are not profitable as well. There are a lot of methods that are I'm sure there are other traders that are way better than me and doing a lot better than me as well. So that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine. I've already explained that. There's no shame in that. But just doing nothing and not improving yourself, or not, you know, not educating yourself, that's where that's what I don't understand. I mean, I would get bored. The reason why I'm actually doing this streaming and this is purely out of boredom, and I wanted to have some structure in my life. Yeah. Do I sometimes talk about altcoins? Yes, Joris, I do it when people ask me about an altcoin. But most of the times the altcoins will be doing the same shit as Bitcoin, except if you're looking for Bitcoin pairing, in terms of Bitcoin pairing. And then in Bitcoin pairing, usually I will tell you that you should get the fuck out and sell it. That's basically what most of the times that I'm saying, because yeah, that's usually what happens. But here Jay Constant is asking about TRX, so let's take a quick look at TRX. Multiplicate this one And let's take a look at TRX. And let's remove all of this crap. And then let's change it into TRX. Yes, Nikolai, I trade pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. So this is what TRX is doing right now on the daily charts. So this is what this is basically what I wanted to show on the shitcoin charts, right? So every time what we see is like these small pumps and then it breaks down. Then we see a small pump and then it breaks down. And then we see a small pump and then it breaks down. And then we see a small pump, then it breaks down. Then we see a small pump and then it breaks down. And that's basically what the problem is with the altcoins, right? And that's the reason why I and if you look at the weekly, this is what the weekly chart, this is the dead heartbeat, right? Like I explained, and this is potentially what Bitcoin could become as well. So it's not like I'm like, you know, saying like everything is rosy with Bitcoin. No, if we have the same type of pattern, I will call Bitcoin a shitcoin as well. You know, if the chart is showing me a dead heartbeat chart, then I'll call Bitcoin a shitcoin as well. No offense, but that's how it is. But this is what I hate, right? We get the big pump during the bull market. During the bull market, we got a big pump, and then it breaks down. And then we got the pump. Then it breaks down. Then we got a pump. Then it breaks down, and it has been a dead heartbeat for whatever, right? Since forever, for the last couple of years, and that's what I dislike about altcoins, and that's the reason why I have almost nothing in terms of altcoins. A very small amount, very small amount, and just for gambling purposes. But yeah, if the chart looks like this, and if you're a serious technical analyst, you don't give a shit about it. You take a look at it, and you're passing it, and you know, give it away. Go away. That's what I'm looking at. Yes, Joris, I'll be missing the next generation of cryptocurrency, but I don't care. You know, I am here to be making money now. If Tron becomes the greatest cryptocurrency in 10 years, good for Tron, right? But I want to be making money now. So like I said, the perspective is very different. If you are an investor into shitcoins and you are hoping to be hitting the lottery in like a couple of years, good for you. I mean, everybody has their investment methods. That's not for me. I trade what has the highest liquidity because I want to be in and out of positions whenever I want to, and I want to be able to have a something that doesn't, you know, go to zero immediately, that I can exit, you know, like in terms of safety. We have a market capitalization of like, you know, a few $100 billion, so it's safer to be holding on into a cryptocurrency that has a higher market cap, obviously. And then secondary, it's easy for me to be trading Bitcoin into and changing it into fiat. So because at the end of the day, I still have to make money. I still have to be buying diapers, be able to buy diapers. How can I buy diapers with shitcoins that I have to hold for 2 years? I can't do that, bro. I cannot do that. So my perspective onto cryptocurrency is most likely not the way that your perspective is into cryptocurrency, which is fine. You know, everybody has their opinion. But like I said, I'm not interested in altcoins at this point in time. There's a very few, there's a couple of charts, altcoin charts that look really, really good in a TA perspective. But still, I care very little. If we are going into a massive bull market, that changes my perspective a little bit, and then yeah, for sure, some altcoins will be doing better. But other than that, not interested. Not interested, and definitely not when the chart is looking something like this. Anyways, let's take a look. We are talking about we are talking about the debt cross. Debt cross on the boom. Let me see. On the daily, I don't know. I don't see a dead cross on the daily. Green, we had the dead cross a long time ago. A long time ago. Here, we had the dead cross here on the 30th of 28th of April 2019. We had the dead cross on the daily, and basically the EMA 55 has been below the purple line ever since. Since the dead cross, it has never been it has never recovered. That's how amazing this this Tron has been. So we had the dead cross, yeah, it never recovered on the daily. So maybe we are looking on the 4-hour charts that you're looking at. 4-hour chart, yeah, here on the 4-hour chart is most likely what you're talking about. On the 4-hour chart, we have not confirmed just yet. It's as you can see here, there's still a small gap. There's still hope. There's still hope. No need to dump it yet, Constant. No need to dump it just yet. There is still some hope that we avoid the dead cross on the 4-hour chart. There's still some hope. But yeah, it doesn't look that great, right? It doesn't look that great. To be honest, once again, just my personal opinion. EMA, the 10 simple moving average is diverging from the EMA 21. Although it is sloping a little bit to the sideways, it's not confirmed just yet. Yeah, doesn't look good. It looks like a continuation of the downtrend here. Bear flag, looks like a bear flag type of yeah, some people could call this accumulation. This could become accumulation. This could be accumulation. Some people could call this accumulation, but it doesn't look good for me. It really doesn't look good for me. Yeah. Is this some sort of like no? It's at least it's not a Head and Shoulders. It's not a Head and Shoulders. So I would be very bearish if we close candles above below this this VWAP here. So 170. Oh, sorry, not 170. 168. Sorry. So if we start closing below 168, most likely we'll be going towards this zone here. Most likely tap this this liquid area here. So the bottom areas here. This is what I think. So 155 to 158 satoshis. If we close below here, because as you can see here, very little in between, right? So if we start closing here below this one, then most likely here, continuation of our trend. If we close above this VWAP here at 173, this one here, if we close above it, then most likely here we have a big resistance VWAP here, this zone here. Then towards like 177, 180 most likely, back to 180, and then most likely chance here to 187. Let's be positive. Let's be positive. 187. Yeah. So yeah, that would be my first look. That's it. That's what I'm looking at. Nikolai, yeah, I do some trading on shitcoins. I really like shorting Ripple. it has been really profitable for me to be shorting the Ripple, because yeah, the Ripple chart is amazing to be shorting. So I have been successful in shorting Ripple. Other than that, Ethereum, I do trade Ethereum once a while as well. It has been, to be honest, with Bitcoin going, this sideways movement, altcoins have been doing pretty well. So I'm not saying that it's impossible to be making money or impossible to be profitable in trading shitcoins. It's just I don't have the time for it, to be wasting my time to be trading something that has low liquidity, more effort, more time consuming on charts that most of the time just be following Bitcoin anyways. So Mongol, yeah, If Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum is gonna go up as well. So pretty good. you know, I do have a little bit of Ethereum as well in my portfolio. Long-term portfolio, very similar to like Bitcoin long-term portfolio. Some of it, but obviously it's very small in comparison with Bitcoin, right? So I think my altcoin portfolio, like total shitcoins, is like less than 5%. I think it's like 3 or 4% now. I dumped a bunch of it on the last time we went up. I dumped a few percent. I only stick at 5% in altcoins in my portfolio. So, but I dumped 1 or 2% more. So I only have like 3% left or something like that on my portfolio, and I have like around 4% Ethereum, something like that, and the rest is all Bitcoin. I mean, when we're talking about my crypto portfolio, that's it. Very simple. So yeah, and other than that, yeah, it's all the rest of my portfolio. But in terms of crypto, that's it. I have like 3% altcoins, 4% Ethereum, and then 93% Bitcoin, I guess. Yeah. Too many shitcoins in this world. The only altcoin, to be honest, there's very few altcoins. But if we are looking at some altcoins, I mean, a Link is a really good chart. If you know Link, Chainlink. See, this is if we are looking on the weekly, this is a constructive chart. See, so I'm not, I don't have any Link, by the way. I don't have any Link, but if we are looking at constructive charts, shitcoin charts, this is constructive. Not a dead hard beat, but most of the charts are dead hard beats. I mean, XRP, my favorite, XRP. Look at this. I mean, it's like, can it go lower? Yeah, it can go lower. It can go lower. Yeah, I mean, a lot of shit coins, but that doesn't mean that, like I said, that doesn't mean that you can't make money from trading shit coins, or that people cannot be successful with altcoins or something like that. Most of the people that are aware or know cryptocurrency are coming from cryptocurrency, from altcoins, right? They got scammed into buying in some ICO or something like that during the bull market, and they're stuck with their bags and their altcoins, and they're still hoping after 2 years that, bro, it's just a pullback, and in 5 years you'll see it will overtake Bitcoin. It will become the #1 altcoin. Yeah, baby. Okay, good for you. If it happens, I'll be happy for you. That's basically the only thing I'm saying. But I'm just trading right now to make money right now. So I don't really care what happens in 5 years with cryptocurrency. Could go to zero as well. Would be bad, would be sad, but could happen. That's what happens with a lot of shitcoins that have a very low market cap, right? A lot of during this bear market for the past couple of years, we see so many cryptocurrency projects that went bankrupt, right? How many dead altcoins are there? A lot of them, and all that money is dead. All that money is gone. All that money is gone from people that believed in project and think that one day it will be overtaking Bitcoin or something like that. Cool. Is Link going to go down soon? Maybe. Well, if Bitcoin goes down, then Link is going to go down as well. I mean, it's pretty clear. But I'm just saying it's a constructive chart. On the weekly, bounced off the EMA 21. Looks constructive. Looks like it wants to be going higher. Daily looks constructive. Bounced off the EMA 21. Looks like it wants to go back to the 50,000 satoshis, or at least here 48,000 satoshis. This area here looks quite constructive. But if Bitcoin is going to crash, then Chainlink is going to do the same. Like that's the reason why it's way more important to be analyzing Bitcoin, because from Bitcoin you can basically extrapolate most of the stuff on the altcoins if you are really interested in shitcoins. But yeah, for me. To be honest, if I would be if I would be charting a lot of shit coins, I probably would have a lot more viewers because so many people. That's the so many people come and ask like, can you check this shit coin? Can you check this shit coin? Can you check this shit coin? And then I just tell them the hard truths. You know, I tell them, dude, that heartbeat chart. Look at this shit. You know, and then they feel so sad and they feel so offended, or I don't know how they feel, but yeah, that's basically how I am. And then that's too harsh for them, and then they move on and they find another channel where the guy is saying like, yes, we just developed this amazing new technology. It's going to be it's going to be 1 million transactions per second, and it's going to be fully decentralized, and this, and in you have to believe it. You have to just wait for the next bull market. In 5 years, it's going to be the number one because Bitcoin is too slow. Bitcoin cannot do this. Bitcoin cannot do that. Cool. You know, if that's the kind of content that you want to be seeing or hearing, you know, I cannot stop you. What I'm saying is like, yeah, I would probably be a lot more popular if I would be not so harsh against altcoins. But that's just how I am. I'm like just straight to the point. That heartbeat. If like I said, if Bitcoin gets rejected once again and we go back to like the 3K levels, I would be very bearish. I would be super bearish on Bitcoin. I would be like, God, this looks like a shitcoin. That heartbeat chart. And what I'll be doing is like, well, no more cryptocurrency trading. I'll be changing it into Forex, and I'll be trading Forex. That's how I am. I move along with the trend, and the trend is your friend until the end. that's basically how I look at things. But yeah, I understand that it can be harsh to your feelings, and definitely for people who bought through ICOs, like I said, during the bull market, who got scammed into some shit coins like I don't know, IOTA, what's that, Neo. I understand that you're still holding those bags from like 2 years and are still hoping that one day it will be pumping, and one day it will be breaking back, and one day it will go back into the bull market, and to the prices that we were before. It could, maybe it could, but like I said, I don't have 2 years of wasting my life into some shitcoin that I'm just watching it like a dead heartbeat chart going down. I just don't. So what I do is I short I short the Ripple. That's basically what I've been doing. But anyways, enough about that. Back to Bitcoin, and let's wrap it up because it's been over an hour already, right? So boom. Yeah, I know, Tina. I know. I mean, all the people are saying it's gonna be, it's gonna 100x. It's gonna go back to the previous levels. This and that. Maybe. I hope so. I really do. I truly hope so. It would be good for the market. It would be amazing for the market. If everybody makes money, I'm happy for you. I mean, if somebody becomes super rich and he has some shit coin and that shit coins makes him rich, I'll be happy for him, right? I have nothing against shit coins. That's not it. I just see that heartbeat charts, and that doesn't bode me a lot of confidence. That's all, because I'm just looking at it from a technical analyst perspective, right? So that's basically it. But the same can happen to Bitcoin as well. So don't be don't be too bullish about it. It can happen as well to Bitcoin. And then, like I said, you should be dumping it. Well, I'm going to be dumping it, and then I'll move on to something else. I mean, that's basically my perspective, or how I'm going to be handling things. I'm not going to be crying over things and this and that. I'm just saying that's just my, once again, my personal perspective, my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So yeah, really, your own money is your own responsibility. You should be doing whatever you want with your own money and not listen to some guy that you don't know, right? That's like the last thing you should be doing, I think. So yeah, let's wrap it up. Waiting for one of those two key zones to be breaking, 9.6k to the upside, 8.9k to the downside. In the short term, tomorrow, basically, daily close, do we close above EMA 21, above 9,446? I do expect this to be a small test towards the 9.6k. Doesn't mean that it's going to be breaking. Could be a scalping for me personally. If I'm there, if I'm ready, if I'm awake, why not? I could be could be a scalping opportunity towards the downside. If we break below the EMA 55 or below 9,128 right now, close the daily candle below it, most likely we'll be retesting the lower 9k area, somewhere around here, you know, where we once again $100 to the downside, where you can scalp, possible scalping opportunity over there as well. But other than that, main positions will be exactly the same, waiting for 9.6k to be breaking, waiting for an 8.9k to be breaking. One of those two is going to be happening next week. I'm pretty confident about that, and that will basically show us the momentum or the direction to the next couple of weeks and monthly close as well, of course, by next week, right? But still, overall, a lot of money printing. Nasdaq is still macro bullish, and Nasdaq has been leading most of the action. So still ending up being more probability to the upper side than the downside. But like I said, anything can happen. You should be rather be positioned to be in a trade when something happens, rather than trying to be a oracle. But yeah, that's the name of this channel. I know, funny, isn't it? It's supposed to be a joke, by the way. So don't take everything so serious. Don't take everything so serious. Well, have a great last day of the week, and get some rest, guys, because tomorrow is a working day, and it's time to make some diapers. Okay, guys. So please like, share, comment, ask questions, whatever. If you want, by the way, for the people who want more TA on altcoins, I'm here, right? You can just ask into the chat, hey, can you take a look at this shitcoin? And I'll take a look at it. But like I said, please don't feel offended when I'm bashing on your altcoin. I know it's very dear to your heart, and you feel the pain because you're holding very old bags from like 1 or 2 years ago. But don't be too offended about it, okay? Happy Father's Day, guys. And hope to see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. YouTube Live or Facebook Live, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8. Whew. And until then, of course, please stay home, stay safe, and of course, stay COVID-free.